I'm Reed Cowan. Never been so grateful to be standing on solid ground after watching this play out live here. We are continuing to follow that breaking news out of New York City, where two people climbed to the top of the Empire State Building. And here's your headline. They weren't supposed to do that. Let's talk about this live to CBS News correspondent Tom Hanson in New York City. Tom, this just ruined all wedding proposals all over the world. That not only sets the bar high, but some 1,450 feet high up in the air. What do you know at this hour?
Hey, Reed, we were covering the heat until moments ago when this spectacle unfolded at one of the most iconic landmarks in all of New York City. I want to show you the Empire State Building. We are about 2 avenues over from that. We wanted to stay as far away but close enough to see it, but so we can get a vantage point. You can see that there are choppers still circling the Empire State Building. Now, just a short time ago, 2 men climbed to the top of the spire. As you mentioned, that is 1,454 feet above the nation's largest city. Basically a death wish for many people who would dare attempt that. They hung a banner that said, "Power of love beats love of power." That's what we were able to make out from some of the feeds from those helicopters. As we know right now, we saw what appeared to be a couple police officers climbing up the spire after them. And then I saw a couple people starting to lower down to one of the mezzanine levels, one of the highest ones. And then I lost eyes on them. Presumably, they will end up getting arrested for this stunt. Now, this is a group that presumably was in protest in some sort of way, but I just want to highlight for you what that spire is used to do. It is used to broadcast radio and television frequencies. So not only is it a dangerous situation to climb to the top for fear of falling, it is also a dangerous situation because of the high voltage that is charging through that tower at any given moment. Typically, the people who are qualified to climb that spire, they are wearing protective equipment. These 2 individuals appeared to be wearing Batman costumes while hanging that flag. So certainly not equipped to handle any of the frequency, and certainly not equipped to handle that high of a climb. An incredibly dangerous situation, an eye-catching situation. As we were going to that area, Reed, there was a heavy police presence. We were actually diverted down 7th Avenue. So police have actually cleared off one of the main thoroughfares here in New York City. That is 34th Street, which runs east to west. And that is one of the busiest, most heavily trafficked areas in the entire city. So this has also put the city in kind of a gridlock in one of the busiest areas, which is Midtown. Meanwhile, tons of people from block to block have been staring up at that spire, taking videos, watching in awe, and hopefully everyone made it down safely. But quite a spectacle, and certainly police awaiting those individuals to arrest them and charge them. It's still up in the air what exactly they're going to be charged with, but I think at the end of the day, if they're able to safely make it down, they should count their lucky stars, because that is a death-defying, dangerous stunt for anyone, even the most qualified of climbers, to attempt. Reed.
And Tom, we are looking at video from moments ago where they reached that platform up there for what you call a stunt. It definitely was a stunt. It looked like they were live streaming it and taking selfies on top of that building. So really, it begs the question, how big of a security breach is this, especially with World Cup, 4th of July? I mean, Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, they're getting married. New York City's already a highly secure area. How did somebody get through that damn door and up the ladder?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, Reed. You can only reach that spire through one of the highest points of the tower, and that is something that you have to have the qualifications in order to get through. So that's going to be something that people are no doubt investigating, exactly how they got to the top. But, you know, you can't put a fine enough point on this. It's a busy city at any point of the year, but given all of the events that are happening right now, it is incredibly busy here in New York City. You're also battling an historic heat wave, which is what I had been covering before this all unfolded. So security is definitely going to be front of mind when it comes to this investigation, exactly how these individuals got to the top, to that death-defying degree of height where they were able to hang that banner, Reed, 1,454 feet in arguably the most iconic building in the entire country. That is something that investigators are going to be looking into, and definitely something that we are waiting to learn exactly how the heck they got up there. there in the first place, Reed. But that is a security breach, a security vulnerability, and certainly something that during such a busy time in the nation's busiest city, it's going to be looked into, I should say, from police and investigators. But thankfully, it appears that they have gotten down from that high point very quickly. I should also just say, put yourself in the shoes of anyone who is in the city at this point. I'm sure you can see me beading with sweat, dripping with sweat right now. It is incredibly hot as it currently stands. We are talking about 90 degree plus, nearly 100 degree plus weather. And also take a look at the gridlock here. You can see the traffic is just at a standstill. This would not normally be the case without the police shutting down a multi-block radius around the Empire State Building. It is a tourist hotspot. No doubt, in any given day, there are thousands upon thousands of people who are going into the Empire State Building, waiting to get to the highest point that they can get for an incredible view of the city. But now that is all shut down for the time being, and we'll just be waiting for those answers as to how those two individuals got up there in the first place, Reed.
And Tom, as you and I talk through this, let's go ahead and keep this video up. For those of you who are just joining us on CBS News 24/7, a couple climbed the top of the Empire State Building. It looks like the female part of that couple wearing something that looks a lot like what you would see on a 1960s Batman episode. They then hung a banner there at the top. Now, listen, that top is only for other people to be up there, experts and professionals. It is not for daredevils or stunt people. And when we saw Jared Leto climb close to this, it was planned, it was coordinated. This was not planned, this was not coordinated. And it's our understanding that the people who made it all the way to the top and commanded the headlines, they have now been caught and cuffed by New York's finest. Okay, from Tom Hanson down on the ground, probably with a sore neck from looking up, let's go to our CBS newsroom in New York and correspondent Shanelle Kaul. Shanelle, I would imagine this played out during lunch hour for those of you over on West 57th, and not one of you took a lunch break. You were just watching this like I was, riveted. What do you know?
Absolutely, Reed. Everyone in this newsroom was glued to our screens. We were watching this unfold, and we just have some new information right now coming into our newsroom from the NYPD, releasing a statement saying that today, on Wednesday, July 1st, 2026, at approximately noon, two unknown individuals were observed on the antenna of the Empire State Building on 20 West 34th Street within the confines of Midtown South Precinct. This is the important part here, Reed. NYPD's Emergency Services Unit responded. Two individuals, they say, were taken into custody without incident. They say there are no reported injuries, charges are pending, and the investigation remains ongoing. So again, take a look at these stunning images that we've all been looking at all afternoon here. The first reports of this, Reed, just to recap, came into our newsroom at about noon Eastern time. You know, we saw these two people standing on top of the Empire State Building on the antenna portion of this building. Just to put this into context for people that haven't been to New York recently, this is like 1,400 feet in the air. They're on the area above the observation deck, which if you come to the city, you go to the Empire State Building, you know, already you're at such a high feet at the observation deck. This is well above that. Both of these people here seem to be wearing masks. They had this banner that I think reads, "When the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace." So this was happening just about noon Eastern time. Then about 30 or 40 minutes later, Reed, these two people began descending. They made it to one of the platforms just underneath the antenna. And then that's when we saw that moment, what appeared to be a proposal. Again, this is not an easy area to access, so certainly a lot of questions about exactly how they got there. We do know that they'll be facing some charges. We don't know exactly what that will look like at this point. And then around 12:40 p.m. Eastern time, Reed, we began to see the NYPD climbing up towards where those two people were. And then just after 1 o'clock Eastern, by around 1:05, I believe, the NYPD had appeared through our vantage point to have caught up to those two people. Again, police confirming that they are now in NYPD custody and that they will be facing charges. No reported injuries, but again, so many questions about how they got up there, what the point of all of this was. And there are so many people also now waiting at the foot of the building in front of it on Fifth Avenue, waiting to see these two people escorted out by police. And they just want to see this moment culminate in something.
My goodness. Well, that Batman hat that one of the climbers wore figures into the nickname for New York City, Gotham, for sure. It was